So today I've got some tips for you, and these are tips for beginners trading news in really volatile markets. So a bit of background: yesterday I took my biggest loss ever. It was really horrendous for me. From that, that was based on the oil trade when Reza Zandi put out a tweet saying that the Iran deal was pretty much all but done. I got on that trade, I sized up, the markets are super thin, and it pulled back way further than I expected. I expected it to go back quite far, and then I had to bail out of this because I just didn't know how big my loss was going to be, and then it ended up going. So today I went back over after I sort of gathered myself and started to feel a bit better, and I've come up with some tips for myself that I want to share with you to help you do this. There are basically three things. The first one is about Twitter, right? The news came out on Twitter. Now, not everybody sees Twitter, and not everybody sees Twitter straight away. So on these ones, the news comes out and the market starts to go, but it doesn't pick up pace right to the end. So it actually was a 35-minute move from sort of the scene of the crime until the end of the move. But really a lot of it happened in the second half. That's where all the biggest moves were, that capitulation into the lows. So you have to understand that it's not going to be fast. I was sitting in my trade for maybe 2 minutes and I thought, it should have broken by now. But that first flag took 9 minutes. So it really can take time to filter through. And then this news didn't come out on all your big news wires as well. So, they can sometimes push it along and speed it up, but that didn't happen. So it takes time for that news to filter through the markets. The second one was about, where I looked. So I went into the market and I just looked to the price ladder. And you know what? When it's this thin and this volatile, the price ladder is too precise, right? It's this super zoomed in thing. And you're going, what's going on right now? Literally right now. But it's not enough. You need to zoom out a little bit. Because this market whips around so much, you've got to go to candlesticks. You go to 15-second candlesticks or even a 1-minute candlestick. And then you're going, well, all right, now is this price action to a relevant zone? So say there's a flag and you're seeing really aggressive buying and it's as the market breaks out that flag, have a go then. But if you're seeing selling and it's in the middle of this zone, then you want to be a bit careful because it's so likely you can get chopped up. So it's about not going too narrow. Maybe the price ladder was a better tool on its own when the market, the ranges are a bit smaller. Then the third thing was about context. So when someone on the floor yelled out, they're like, oh, there's a tweet, check it out. And so I went and looked and I was like, okay, cool. I read it and I thought, all right, now I'm going to start selling. And I wasn't looking at that market. I didn't have any charts up for it. And so I just thought, all right. And I took this my own frame of reference, right? And it was a big mistake. I sold it and I thought, all right, this is the price I sold it. And then I started putting all the information I saw relative to that price. But who cares where I got in? The market cares about where the tweet came from. And so what the process should be is go, all right, something big's going to happen. You can get in. That's fine, right? It's big news. Then you go back to your charts and just take a breather for a second. Go, all right, where did this come out? So you can look and Twitter will tell you it came out at whatever time it was. And then you look at your charts, where was that? Okay, how far away from there am I? And then you are starting to get now this reference, this frame of reference. It's the market's frame of reference, not the price where Isaac got in and sold reference, because that reference is absolutely useless. And so at that point, you can go, all right, now I understand how far it's gone. Where could a pullback go to? And then you're starting to actually trade everything from the right frame of reference. You're not going like my prep was, and my idea was fine. This comes out, it could be a 500 tick move. It was bigger than that, but just because it's going to be a 500 tick move doesn't mean I can sell it anywhere and control my risk, right? I can be so wrong and so chopped up in amongst all of that. So yeah, anyway, you can tell I went from being a very basic news trader yesterday to definitely building on it today. And today I already use those things. There's so many comments coming out. I actually jumped on an oil trade, and this time I just went straight to my charts, understood it all, and then got in where the price action matched up with the structure, and I knew where the scene of the crime was, and I knew how the news came out, and I was actually able to control my risk really well. So those are my 3 tips for you, and I hope they help you trade news in this really volatile environment. Now, follow us on all your favorite social media and suggest these to your friends if you're enjoying them. And if you want to learn more about technicals and go into depth about news trading, and I was talking about, go and check out elitetraderworkshop.com and sign up for the free workshop that we have there. All right, everybody, I'll see you next time. Have a good time trading.